Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah in Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV gossip. There's so much going on. And of course, today's Jeff Lewis Live, who was back in LA with our most favorite chumps, Megan Weaver and Doug Buden. Did y'all love them? I know so many of y'all just love this core group of chumps, and I feel like Jeff and Shane are just the most comfortable when they're chatting with Megan and Doug, right? So get comfortable in comments. I love to hear what you're thinking. We will make time at the end for questions. Chat amongst yourself. I love what a community we have here. It is so amazing. So I thank you for joining live. It is so much more fun. If you're watching on the replay, thank you so much too. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the things, and welcome. Okay, let's get into a little bit of 90 Day Fiance that was so boring. The Salt Lake City gossip going on social media. John Hill and Andy Cohen awkward again today. So weird. And then, of course, this Kelly Dodd and Bethenny Frankel feud that's going on. Okay, so I'm watching 90 Day Fiance, The Last Resort last night. I thought for sure Kalani was going to finally tell Asuelo that she went off the resort property and saw this guy, Dallas, that she was with. No, none of the show was about that at all. Like they could have totally edited out every single thing that happened on this episode. Pretty much the ladies just got together and had some drinks, sat in the hot tub. So boring. And the men got together and went to see a strip club, which of course didn't make Angela or Michael happy. Yawn. I mean, all I saw is more problems because Asuelu had never been to a strip joint before. And when I tell you he was like blown away, this is his new obsession. He was completely and utterly fascinated by this for sure. So I'm not sure this is going to do anything for their marriage. Y'all have got to tell me, since I don't follow them, what is going on. So I need to know, are they still together? I can tell, I see stuff from Jovi and Yari that they're still together, but I don't really see much of the other people. But that episode was completely lame. Thought it was useless. Okay. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I didn't think it was that good this season so far, but now we're getting all these Instagram comments and posts. And now I see a tweet from Monica's mother entering the chat, which, by the way, why is her Twitter name LD_millionaire? Like, I have so many questions. Is she a matchmaker? Like, all I do is think of Patty Stanger. So I definitely want to know. But basically, in the comments yesterday, it came out something that Bravo and Cocktails had shared back in August, something about this shoe being thrown by Monica at that Greek Easter party. So I'm assuming this did not get caught on video. Like, how are the cameras down for this? Are you kidding me? There's no way they would have not shown this if it actually happened, right? So now they're also saying, or Monica gets in the comments and basically says, yes, I left my mother at that party, but I went straight to the hospital and got like an MRI or x-rays because I'd fallen down the stairs. Do we hear lawsuit? At Angie K's house because she had no railing on the stairs. And something about get it up to code. Then Angie comes at her like, keep my husband Sean's name out of your freaking mouth. I don't know what happened. Somebody shows all these bruises of Monica's leg. Where do her 4 kids go? I mean, I guess the 17-year-old is old enough to stay with the 12 and 5 or 6 and 7-year-olds, whatever they are, girls. But were you really that injured? Like, no, you never said anything on camera. You didn't look injured. If you fell down the stairs, I want to see that. Like, why aren't they showing that? Are they protecting Angie? Does she really not have the right permits or whatever for these stairs? Do you think that kind of house with that kind of money has stairs that are going to be dangerous to anyone? We know rich people love to be targeted for lawsuits. There's no way they would put themselves in danger of that, would they? Like, I'm so confused on all this, but I'm so here for it. So thank you so much for the Jeff Lewis sleuths that always tag me and stuff. Send me Instagram DMs about all of this stuff because it is so hard to keep up with all of it. But oh my God, I'm loving these Instagram comments. I'm loving all of it. So then Monica's mom, this LD_millionaire on Twitter, makes this post yesterday and says something like, Monica begged me to be on this reality show. I didn't want to do it. She said, all you have to do is stand there and cook and speak Portuguese. And she says, instead, she threw me under the bus. She's making me seem like a horrible mom. She says, I'm actually a great mom. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Hello, reality show or not, no mom is, no human is perfect, right? And then she said, I guess the Portuguese word for grandma, whatever she said, she used that. But basically saying, I'm a great mom and a great grandmother, and I would never do this. I would always support my one and only child, Monica. But yet, look what she is doing to me. I have not seen, I don't really understand Twitter enough. So if somebody sees in those comments, if Monica comes back at her mom, please send that to me, because I would die to see that for sure. I'm just crazy. Okay. Thank you, TikTok. Please tap the screen. Give us some likes. It brings all the Jeff Lewis and reality TV people to us. So I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much, TikTok. Okay. I made a story, a reel, I should say. Shout out Annie, about this John Hill and Andy Cohen uncomfortableness. It got worse this morning, y'all. Did you hear it? Oh my God, it's the Thursday edition of Andy Cohen Live. It starts out, Andy's all upbeat. John seemed in a better mood and everything. And then they start talking about things. And Andy can tell that John is completely not interested at all. And it was kind of a boring subject, but still, Andy is telling this story and John Hill is absolutely not interested. And then he brings up, oh, well, let's talk about your mattress. Let's talk about things of interest to you. Anyways, John basically says, oh, well, those people that act interested, they probably have health insurance and a house. Ouch. Basically, is he saying, like, send some more coins my way and maybe I'll do better at my job? Like, I don't know what that meant, but definitely some underlying tension that, he doesn't make enough money. He doesn't own a house. He rents an apartment in LA. He doesn't have health insurance. Wow. Like, what did you think? I was dying, y'all. I talked about this yesterday, how I'm so surprised they ever got along well enough to even date. But now it just seems downright awkward. And a lot of y'all are sending me those same DMs saying, oh my God, did you listen? And I'm like, oh yeah, I heard it for sure. Oh, Fergalicious says John is hot. We're not debating that, but he's being a little bit pissy for sure. It was noticeable for sure. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, real quick. Tori Spelling. I don't know. I guess she's renting a house and her bad luck is not doing her well right now. I guess there was a SWAT situation and she had to be evacuated. I don't know what's going on with that. It doesn't seem like anyone was hurt or anything. So it does seem like it was okay. But is she going to stay in this house? We don't know. Okay. Let's chat Kelly Dodd, the clapback, I guess, to Bethenny Frankel. So we know that Bethenny Frankel has this podcast called Rewives that she started around December of last year. And it's going to be about her talking about housewives and things like that. I don't really hear about this one much because this other one that she does called Just Be, yes, she has more than one podcast called Just Be with Bethenny Frankel, seems to get a lot more chatter about it, right? So I see a video clip yesterday and it's Kelly Dodd promoting that she's going to clap back. She's going to come back at Bethenny Frankel for what she said about her. And I'm like, well, what did Bethenny Frankel say about you? I haven't heard anything. And of course, I hadn't listened to the Rewives from October 17th. So apparently, we know the other night, Bethenny hosted this huge dinner with all these crazy reality stars. Nene was there. Alyssa Donovan, Doug Buden's friend. Like, what? Jenny Garth, Rachel Yucatel. So many people were there. I cannot even imagine all the tea that was spilled, but Bethenny is definitely promoting this, letting us know that some big things are coming up and it's just crazy. She's definitely letting us know these people are involved or maybe on her side, if you will, with her whole reality reckoning against, I would say it's against Bravo, but it's kind of against everyone. It's just Bravo's kind of the more well-known because that's where she was. So apparently she says something about this Ireland trip. So all along, Kelly has been very vocal. Look, we were never forced to drink. Alcohol was there. It was never forced upon us. She makes no issue that she doesn't like Bravo. Bravo fired her. She doesn't like that. She always talks about the politics and COVID and, the OC being super Republican and them hating her and hating her husband, Rick. So she talks about that often. But instead of this seeming like a clapback, it sort of started off as like a love fest. It was like, I really respect Bethenny. I've met her. We've talked to this person and that person. I used to do shows with Dorinda and these other people. And, so coincidentally, this is all about this Ireland trip. And I'll tell you about that story in a second. But Friday night, Kelly and Rick hosted a live show outside of Detroit. And somebody asked her a question about how produced the show is. And they've got the video clip. She basically talks about how this executive producer was a really good friend of hers. And she caught wind that production or the ladies, somebody really wanted Kelly to get drunk because they knew she would go crazy and show her ass basically. And this executive producer, who has since been fired because she couldn't handle the heat, Kelly said, let her know, do not drink. Do not drink. This is not going to end well for you. So she feels like in that particular situation, for sure, they were actually protecting her personally instead of like encouraging them to drink. Now, do I think the alcohol is free flowing for a reason? Absolutely. All of these reality shows, it comes out that the alcohol is always free flowing. A lot of the bachelor women, the bachelor men have talked about that. So I do think it affects their behavior for sure. But Kelly has long said, nobody forced us to do anything. She's made it very clear she is not on Bethenny Frankel's side with this whole reality reckoning. So Bethenny on her show the other day talks about Kelly in this Ireland trip and basically saying, I think she's forgotten what happened. She's forgetting that they were really forcing her to drink in this whole situation. And Kelly is absolutely like, I respect Bethenny, but I don't like when somebody lies. And she is lying about this situation. So it was really crazy. That executive producer, like I said, has since been fired, Kelly said. But she made it clear that that lady was in this situation actually protecting Kelly from like getting in trouble even more. One thing that I thought was worse, because I did not think this clapback was all that much of a clapback. It was kind of a gentle, like, oh, maybe we disagree, but I really respect Bethenny, what have you. But at the end, at the end of Rick and Kelly's show, she makes a dig at Tamra Judge's husband, basically saying a lot of people can think their husbands are gay and they just don't say anything about it. And she mentions Eddie. I'm like, that is what the clapback, that is what I'm expecting Tamra to clap back on later today, is at Kelly Dodd for that. Do I think Bethenny will even respond to Kelly Dodd's clapback? I don't even know. I don't know. What do you think? I just didn't think it was that much of a clapback. I guess it was more of a clarification, a gentle clarification. But nobody wants to see a Rick and Kelly show where the title says, oh, it's a gentle clarification. If we see the word clapback, if she promotes it as that, we're all going to tune in, and that's what everything is about, right? Anyways, Fergalicious said she's always on Tamra's neck. Yes. And I mean, we know Kelly Dodd's mom, Bobby, definitely doesn't like Tamra at all, right? Oh my gosh, I didn't have my comments up. Sorry. Okay. Robin says, Melanie, I'm sure Kelly doesn't need to be forced to drink. I mean, oh my goodness. My goodness. Oh, Melanie says it's disgusting to attempt to out someone in their sexuality. I mean, this has been going on forever with a few people, but definitely this whole Kyle Richards and Morgan Wade thing, right? Like, I'm so confused by that whole damn story. I want the truth to come out. I don't know, but I think they're all playing us. And now I think freaking Mauricio is in on it too. And I don't know why. Like I said, they've got all the money in the world, it seems like. Although I hear about this looming huge lawsuit against Mauricio and Kyle and the agency. I don't know. But, you know, it seems like they already have all the money in the world and all the fame in the world. Like, what are they doing? I don't know. Yes, Larsa Pippen was there. I mean, it was a crazy dinner. Like, if I could have been a fly on the wall for one of those conversations, I was just dying. Just dying. And like I said, it got kind of chumpy because I noticed Alyssa Donovan. And I'm like, oh my God, she's really good friends with Doug Budem. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's talk about today's Jeff Lewis Live. Chumps Megan Weaver and Doug Budem were there. It seems like a while, right? It seems like they were usually on once or, you know, 1 to 3 times a month or more. And now it seems like it's been a while, probably because I feel like Doug has been co-hosting the after show quite often, right? And then Megan, so he's been busy with that. Megan is filming Hollywood Houseless, so that adds, you know, extra time to her day and everything. So I don't know. I was just so happy to hear them back. I kind of expected Jeff to tell us more. Whatever is going on with him and Stu. Y'all tell me in comments, what do you think is going on? Like, I felt like if anything, he would tell us something today because he really hasn't said anything. On Monday, he talked about Stu somewhat normally. He was kind of teasing him about, you know, the Taylor Swift movie that they went and saw and the hoodie that he was wearing, but he didn't really say anything. Since then, I don't know, but it seems like there's been a Kian and a Stu unfollow or block, a Shane and a Stu unfollow and block, maybe a Krista and Stu unfollow or block. I don't know. Y'all are sending me lots of crazy DMs. I can't even keep up with it all. And I don't even know who all was following each other to begin with, right? So TJ says, I think Stu and Jeff broke up again. So tell me why. So I want you to convince me in comments either that Jeff and Stu are not broken up or that they are on a pause or that they are. Because I'll talk about the after show and Jeff mentions again something about Stu, just one little bleep, something about his relationship or Stu. I can't remember what he even said, but I was like, oh my God, like I can't figure it out. I would think if they were broken up or on pause, he wouldn't talk about Stu at all. But I guess he always talks about him. And then he'll tell us weeks later that they were on pause and we didn't even know, right? Oh God, Katie, she says, what if Stu and Gus acted inappropriately? Girl, Jeff would call that out so fast. I can't even imagine. I don't think that happened at all. And I don't think Stu would do that. I think Stu seems very much in love with Jeff. Jeff seems very much in love with Stu. I don't know. I just don't know if it's gonna, oh, my dog. Oh, it's Thursday, y'all. Recycle day, trash day. Pool guy cleaner day. I don't know. Okay, they get started. They're teasing Oscar. Jeff loves to tease about the Disney gays. I am wondering if Jeff is going to show up on Saturday for you know, Monroe's birthday gathering at Disneyland with like a little bit of security. Like, is anyone in this Facebook group that Oscar is in and hears or sees the chatter of what they're saying? Like, are they mad? He basically says a lot of chumps are in this group. So, you know, Jeff's demographics is probably a lot of women in the, you know, 40 to 60-year-old age range, but a lot of them are Disney people too. And they could be in this Disney group, right? Disney adults or whatever this Facebook group is called. But Oscar let him know a lot of them are listening and they're going to show up Saturday when you're there and they want to bring you gifts. I'm envisioning like poop in a bag looking like a brownie and he's going to be like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Okay, Melanie, convince me, y'all. I'm going to read your comments. I think Jeff and Stu are on a pause due to the unfollow. Which unfollow? And the fact that Jeff is not mentioning him like normal. What Jay said on the after show, Jay, was just a slip, not a big statement. Who's Jay? Today? Oh, AC says Jeff and Stu need to be on a permanent pause. Their relationship is not healthy for either one of them. I mean, I don't know. They seem so attracted to each other on so many levels, right? Like, I just want them both to be happy no matter what that. Oh, Joey. Sorry. Joey Zauzig, of course. Anyways, yes, Stu was in a 2 or 3 year relationship. I don't remember how long that was with Thomas before Jeff. Yeah. Yes, Bay Day, because I think it was like November 9th, 2021 at Jeff's house during the Jeff Lewis Live, whenever Amy Phillips, shout out, cook it, spill it, throw it, when Amy Phillips and Chef Stu came on Jeff Lewis Live to promote this book, and you could hear the flirting from Jeff and Shane and later Doug. They were all talking about Chef Stu, right? I mean, how can you not? I mean, oh my goodness, that's probably one of my favorite pictures. I love that so much. Anyways, but at the time, yes, Jeff was in a relationship with Scott and Stu was in a relationship with Thomas. But that was November, and by Valentine's Day, they were on their first date, right? Okay. This lounge within the lounge within the lounge at American, at JFK, apparently. I love Doug Buden. I have even DM'd him like what plane I'm on for Southwest, and he'll literally look it up. I don't even ask him. He's so sweet, so kind. And he'll look it up and tell me like, oh, that plane went here today and it's been here. That's its final destination. I mean, he knows everything about so many, or a lot about so many things, right? But he loves talking about flights. He loves talking about a lounge, which I would just die. I was kind of disappointed that Jeff and Shane decided not to do the Blade helicopter. But if they were it was going to be almost $400 for each of them, that totally makes sense, because it was only going to save, Jeff said, about 15 minutes. And I mean, Jeff is good with money. As much as he seems to just vomit it everywhere, he is really conscientious of his money. And he realized $800 to save $15 15 minutes is not that big of a deal. I think I'll do it on another trip where it makes a lot more sense, right? Lori says, Kelly can't take a single comment about her or anyone she likes. One smasher commented on her mom smoking weed, and Kelly's been ranting about it like she's being attacked. And they did update that today. They basically, which I thought was interesting. I mean, I guess two things can be true. They said that I guess Bobby, her mom, is like 75 years old, and they're like, she reads the comments and her feelings get really hurt. She's very sensitive. I mean, when I think of Bobby from being on Real Housewives of OC and the way she would talk to Kelly and the things she says on the rare occasions that she does get on camera or even off camera during the Rick and Kelly show, I don't exactly think of her as like a delicate flower. You know what I mean? But I guess we can be very bold with our opinions and yet also be sensitive and get our feelings hurt, right? Michael Riley says Bobby needs to toughen up. I mean, I can't imagine being Kelly Dodd's mother and, you know, your daughter does a live show 5 days a week and she talks about you and puts you on the show. Yeah, I do think you got to kind of toughen up a little bit, right? Especially with a subject like that that's going to be a little bit controversial, right? Anyway, so interesting. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Make sure to hit the like button in YouTube and make sure to hit subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for being one of my biggest cheerleaders, Melanie. I appreciate it. Okay. He lets us know that Gus was actually fired. He doesn't bring up any new allegations, but he does verify that Nancy is going to come back. Do y'all remember her from Flipping Out? Like, she's really good for Jeff. I think she keeps him in order. I think she never makes mistakes. He trusts her. He's exactly she's efficient. So she is going to drive up from the OC 1 day a week. And he said probably get everything done for the week. Like, there's no concern about her getting everything done. I love Nancy. Yes, for sure. Oh my God. Like, I want her back. I want her to be shown on season 3 of Hollywood House Lift. The Gus, yes, Sharon said, is the Gus the one that was flirting with Shane? Yeah, he was just saying odd, inappropriate things. He pretty much, Jeff tells us today, that he was maybe going through some personal issues and maybe bringing that into work. So as we know, Jeff can be like stone cold and still come in and do the Jeff Lewis live show, still film. He can never let his emotions go. I mean, he's pretty hardcore, and I think he expects that of other people, and that's not necessarily so realistic, right? Like, if we've got stuff going on in our personal life, it's going to bleed over sometimes, and maybe we're going to make mistakes. You love my shirt? Thank you. It's just a little, probably Marshalls, TJ Maxx, one of those. Yes. Melanie says, Nancy is very good. She's detailed and does exactly what Jeff needs done. I love organized people like Nancy. I think I'd be really good at that. You know what I always dream of doing, like late in life, is being, because I never even knew it was a thing till the Kardashians, is being a celebrity assistant. I think I would be so good at it. I'm super organized, super efficient. I'm really good with secrets, and I would love to be in that business. But, I live in Houston, so it's not going to happen. And I think it would be a very exhausting job. Like, really, those people I think are usually in like their young to mid 20s, not married, no children, no life, you know what I mean? And that really wouldn't suit well for me, right? It'd be fun, but it wouldn't be good for sure. Oh my gosh, Anne's in Morocco. Shout out Anne from Dames Who Dish. Adore you. Cannot wait to meet you at BravoCon. By the way, for those of us going to BravoCon, I know I haven't put out the information yet. Sometime Thursday afternoon, before we all head out to do whatever we're doing Thursday night, I know the BravoCon Facebook group has a huge event going on 6 to 9. I do want to go to that, and I probably will. You do have to RSVP, so get on the BravoCon Facebook group for that. It's a free event, but you do need to RSVP. It's just a little bit further of a Uber than I expected. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear, but I do want us all to meet. That way, some of us I know are coming by ourselves. So if you know anyone coming to BravoCon by themselves, or just a few, or they're just Jeff Lewis fans and they want to get together and meet, it's always fun to just meet people in person, right? Just to put a face behind like an Instagram account, a YouTube, you know what I mean? It's so much fun to know that we're going to be surrounded by our people at BravoCon who love Bravo and reality TV. But if you're also a Jeff Lewis fan, oh dear God, my heart could just explode. You are definitely my people, and I cannot wait to meet y'all. So it'll probably be quick, something 30 minutes. I'm thinking of hosting it at Yard House, right by the Link Hotel. They have an outdoor patio that they said we can use. That way people, if they want to eat or drink, they can. If they don't have to, but we can all get to know each other. But I hope you just come with an open, happy heart to just meet other people and just have so much fun. We can pair up. We can decide, hey, let's meet here every morning. Let's go to this event. Who's going to this event? We'll have some way to communicate, probably a special chat group off of the Jeff Lewis Obsessed Facebook group. So make sure you're in that. It's going to be Thursday afternoon. I think I'm also talking to another friend that wants to do a meetup Friday or Saturday night together with me. So just be on the lookout. I will definitely be posting the information under the events tab in the Jeff Lewis Obsessed Facebook group, and definitely on my Instagram stories. That feels like the easiest way. Victoria says, meet at Yard House and Sarah pays the bill. Girl, I'm cheap. That just is simply not happening. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's keep talking about Jeff Lewis. I'm not watching The Summer I Got Pretty. Is anyone watching that? Like, it does sound cute, but I just don't know how I would find the time. Maybe if I slept 2 hours a day. Did y'all hear the details? Who is hoping to get an invitation to this October 28th Halloween party that Jeff is hosting at SiriusXM? Who is hoping to get an invitation to this December 6th, season 2 Hollywood House Lift premiere in LA? Oh my God, y'all. Can you just imagine? I would just die. So please manifest anything happening. I would just love it so much, but it would be so fun. Even though Halloween's not my favorite thing, I would come up with the very cutest, very good costume if I could attend that for sure. And I would hop on a Southwest plane back to LA, right? Sherry says December 6th. That's the one you want to go to, the premiere. Oh my God, they would both be so much fun. Oh, for sure. Sunny says, I want a Nancy in my life. Oh my God, can you imagine? I mean, I want a Shane in my life as far as like hanging out, but somebody to take care of all the stuff around the house and keep everything in order. If I had all that money, definitely a Nancy. Oh my God, somebody that's just quick, efficient, to the point, doesn't get involved in things, what have you. Wait, what? Melanie says, I'm going to have to walk around with an iPad like Angela on 90 Day Fiance. So I feel like I'm with you all in Vegas. Oh, yeah, when she walks around with that thing to talk to her husband, Michael. God, those people are so weird. I do have hope for them, though. I didn't have hope before 90 Day Fiance, the last resort, started, but I have hope for them. But I don't know. They're like Jeff and Stu, though. They can blow up and be pissed at each other at a whim. So who knows? We're all our own Nancy. Exactly, right? Oh, I love that, Marcy. You need to be invited to the house flip event. I'd be invited to anything. I would say yes. Oh my God, so much fun, so much fun. Okay, the after show today was Joey Zauzig and Carrie Lewis. Y'all, Jeff was coming in so hot at Joey Zauzig, admitting that he's gained 27 pounds in the last couple of weeks. So if you follow Joey Zauzig on Instagram, I follow him on TikTok too, but I feel like he puts more personal stories on his Instagram stories. I feel like TikTok was a lot more about the animals and the safari and the food. But even a few times he posts about this towel gang, and that basically means when he's at the gym, right? He calls it his towel gang. And I don't know how you gained 27 pounds in a couple of weeks. How could you lose 27 pounds in a couple of weeks? Oh my God, you called in the show today, Amy. Wait, which one was it about? What were the callers about today? I can't even remember. Oh my gosh. Remind me what you called in on. Yes. Lola Gucci says that would mean he took it too far. I love Joey so much. I think it was 27 pounds, not 37. I cannot imagine. He said it was better than therapy, though. He is 6'4", so he is tall. He said the whole safari, though. Oh, he said 37 pounds. Am I wrong? Oh, I misheard that. 7 pounds? He did? I thought it was 27. Wow, that is shocking. Oh, you were the nutritionist that called in, Amy. Yes, and I've heard you call in before and give Jeff advice. Yeah, you were saying for him to just go at it gradually and not like starve himself with the calorie deficit. Yeah, y'all are 727. I thought that's what he said too. Regardless, 27, 37. Yeah, I think we're right with 27, to be honest with you. If you gain that much weight in 2 weeks, you better go see a doctor, Jay Jones says. I mean, he just says he was eating and drinking everything. I also think he's often talked about his weight gain, and he was very overweight as a child, had acne, so he had lots of issues. I think he really struggles. Everyone has their own genetics, right? And we can try as hard as we want. Some people don't have to try it all and they're thin. Some people, it's very easy for them to gain weight. So that might be his genetics. I think it'd be very hard to lose that much weight that fast, but he says he can do it. I don't know. He just got back from, yeah, that's where he gained the weight. But I remember, because like I said, I follow him, and I remember he calls it calorie deficit, basically eating less food, right? Eating less calories. He was doing that right before the trip. So I don't know how he gained this much weight, but Jeff, when he lifted up his belly, which we won't see because they don't video the after show, but when he lifted up his belly, Jeff literally gasped. And him and Carrie, I thought Carrie was going to pee her pants. She started laughing so hard. It was almost like they were like junior high kids, like laughing at the fat kid. And they couldn't even catch their breath. It was uncomfortable because I thought I could sense, even though Joey, I'm sure, was trying to be a good sport about it, I could see him or feel him reverting back to that 12-year-old kid that was picked on, because he said he had horrible acne, cystic acne, and he was very overweight and he was picked on a lot. And, now he's this huge influencer and looks are a lot of things. So, he dresses nice. He has a fancy this, a fancy that, nice shoes, nice car. a lot of that stuff we do subconsciously because we're trying to make up for other ways that we might feel about ourselves, right? Yeah, Charlotte says, I felt bad for Joey. Lola Gucci. Yeah, Joey was hurt and trying to play along. I don't disagree. I don't think Jeff and Carrie meant to do that. I just think when they get together, they're so close and they've got such a history together. And, weight is such a big part of their life. Like even Carrie, who I related to, because she was saying, I've got a form of body dysmorphia. She says, I think I'm smaller than I am. And I've shared that with y'all. Y'all, I will go shopping and I'll try on these big jeans and I'm like, oh, these aren't going to fit. And then they are snug or they're too tight. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm bigger than I am. So a lot of people with body dysmorphia, it's a true thing. They really think they're bigger than they actually are. I actually think I'm smaller than I am. So I've talked about that for years with my friends. It's a weird thing, but I don't know that it's any better. It's probably better for me mentally to think I'm smaller than I am bigger, but it's a real thing for sure. Oh, user on TikTok says, me too. And I wanted to hug Joey. Yeah. Oh, Melanie says that broke my heart for Joey. I mean, I think it's all part of the game. You kind of have to take the ribbing that's going to come. Oh, be kind to yourselves. Thank you. Thank you, Marie. I think you have to, but I did hear them also say, they say I have a face for radio. And I'm like, you don't though. Pasadena Baby says, I think I'm bigger than I am all my life. Yeah. And that is what they call body dysmorphia, right? For sure. Oh, NW Shelley says, I did not enjoy it today, especially from Carrie, whose daughter's weight was brought up and she was mad. Oh, that's very true. She never really gives us details about Pepper, right? She just kind of flows over that, which I understand as a mom. The laughter was more about the costume options. Yes, that's when they started talking about what costumes and the Halloween and dressing up of that stuff shoot. Yeah. That's true. Victoria says Jeff is never harder on anyone than he is on himself, so it's fair game. I sort of do agree with you that for sure. You're talking about surgery. Oh my gosh, we're talking about surgery. What else? $272, $275 spray tan. Why is Jeff? I think it's because she does all these famous people. I think again, the more money you have, the more fame you have, which Jeff has a lot of both of those, you have to be a little more private with the things that you choose. And some of that comes with a price tag. So I think he is switching over to this famous person who does these spray tans for Kris Jenner twice a week. Who else were they saying? A lot of big names. And I think it's $275. I would assume you're supposed to tip. I think that's kind of a service industry. I've never had a spray tan. It sounds like a very much like a haircut. My daughter was getting her haircut yesterday. It's $60 to chop off 3 inches of hair. And of course I tip 20% on the computer. So spray tan, I'm sure you're supposed to tip 20% too, but $275, that's a lot of money. It just comes off in the shower, y'all, or your sheets or your couch. Like, no freaking way. Wait, Sarah, you have a beautiful face shape, with red hearts. Thank you. Yes, that's a lot of money. But don't you feel like he's paying for, what do you call it? Like respect almost. Like, he's not going to worry. She's going to talk about his wiener or moving it to the left or moving it to the right or getting it spray tanned or covering it. Joey was like, she's seen everybody's stuff. And at $275 a pop plus tip, I would assume, she's going to keep her dang mouth shut, don't you think? I don't know. What else they talk about? Carrie brought up Jeff's grandmother. So she was very close to his grandmother. Well, close. She knew her for 20 years because she and Todd have been together so long. But she always said things that was always kind of rude about Jeff's weight and about other people's weight and about Carrie's. But she tells the story, and Jeff didn't ask her to elaborate at all. But she said, your grandmother told me that she wishes she'd have been nicer or easier on your mom. I don't know. He lost his mom when he was 18. I think she was 39 or something, very young. He didn't elaborate at all. I just don't think he wanted it to be brought up at all, right? The gross habits they were talking about. Okay, the show started off. We should have talked about this. Jeff has a piece of floss in his mouth. I guess we can watch this on the video tonight. He has a piece of floss in his mouth. Shout out Eminem. And he gets it out of his teeth. I think we've all done that, right? But then he throws it on the ground. So I think he has done this before with something, but I don't remember what it was. But he definitely did something. So then Carrie and Joey are talking about like what gross habits you have. Joey tells us about a lot of gross habits. And then he was like, I don't always smell nice. You know how people like, I'm not a sweater at all. I'm just not a big sweater. When I go to the gym, I really have to sit in the sauna to sweat a lot. I'm just not a huge sweater. Joey seems like he is, right? And he shows at the gym. He looks like he smells very manly, right? So when he said, I don't really smell nice all the time, I clip my toenails in the bathtub. And then Carrie was like, well, do you just let them hang out with you? And I'm like, I can't say I'm like him. I don't, unless I have a cut nail or something, I get a manicure or pedicure, so I don't really have to trim my nails much. But if I did, I can't think if I would sit in the bathtub and just let my nails be all around. Like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a gross habit, but I don't think I would do it either. I don't know what I would do with them though. But when people you see on TV, when they're clipping their nails and they're flying everywhere, oh, that grosses me out for no end. Shout out London. Maybe he's in London. What's the weather like there? Are y'all getting cold already? Hate cold weather. Oh, Kathy, your haircut was $75. You trimmed your ends the other day. But I have to tell you, this was my 8th grader, and her friend wanted her to use her hairstylist. And it's the same place I go for my facials, but I've only gotten my haircut there once or twice. And she loved the lady. She loved the haircut. She felt like my daughter has like different hair. So 2 of my daughters have the same hair, like my mother-in-law, husband's side of the family. 2 of my daughters have my hair, more straight, more whatever, lighter naturally. And anyway, so, she's 13. She's kind of dealing with how to deal with her curly hair. And she loved this lady. So was it worth $60 plus 20% tip? Absolutely it was. I mean, right? Anybody that has kids know, God, teenage kids can be temperamental. So just keeping them happy. If you have the funds for it, it was worth every penny, I'll tell you. What else? Tonight is cooking kibitz at 5:00 Pacific with Doug Buden's Instagram. He's going to have Zach Noe Towers on, whose birthday was yesterday. Y'all, a week from tonight, some Houston friends and I are going to see Zach Noe Towers live at the Houston Improv. I cannot wait. If you live in the Houston area, get a ticket, join us. I don't know if we're going to have dinner before or after, probably before, because I think we'll all be tired afterwards. Anyways, that'll be so fun though. If you have any questions, put them in comments. I will definitely try to read them all. Tomorrow is Shane and Emily Simpson. Somebody says that's so gross. Wait, what did you say, Julie? I've had passengers cut their toenails on flights I've worked. I definitely, and the sound of filing a nail, I've definitely heard someone a few flights ago filing their nails, and that grossed me out. And for some reason I could hear it. I was on the aisle and she was by the window, but most of the time you can't really hear that well. It must've been when the air was off or something. I don't really remember. Anyways, AUS. I love Jeff, find him amusing and maddening. I laugh every time I hear him and love Shane and Doug so much. I have some strong thoughts about Monroe's healthy, balanced upbringing. Former elementary school teacher. Yeah, I think a lot of us have thoughts on that, right? I mean, just waiting around till she turns. Well, I mean, I say turn 16. She's feisty now. She's opinionated now. Can you imagine as a 15, 16, 17-year-old girl? Woo, Jeff. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine. Y'all send him some good juju for that, right? Well, thank you so much for joining. It is so much more fun to join live. I love it. If you're watching on the replay, thank you. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, make a comment. It all helps with all of my videos. So please do that. Give me a follow, give me a subscribe on all my social media under Jeff Lewis Obsessed. And I will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Bye, Chumpats. Bye, TikTok. Bye, Instagram. And bye, YouTube and Facebook.